Hello everyone, welcome back to Chill Trades, where I analyze the market so that you know what's going on. Thanks for coming to this video. Today we're covering PSTG, which is Pure Storage, and this was actually a subscriber's ask, is to cover this stock and give an update on how it's doing. So I think it was, let me look at the name, Delta Tango. So appreciate you for commenting and seeing what you want me to cover. If you're watching this and you have a stock that you want me to do some technical analysis on, just leave a comment and I'll do it. So let's just jump into it right now. So the first thing I want to call out is this is just a similar pattern that I've been seeing in anything tech related, especially smaller to mid cap tech. You know, around in February we saw a peak, and ever since then we've had it come down pretty significantly, and then we've seen a little rebound lately, and I think anything mid or small cap is really making a decision of where it wants to go next, and so it's really hard to know what the next move is. I think this trading week and the next trading week are going to give us a really good idea. I'll preface that with saying, with Nasdaq hitting all-time highs and a lot of the technicals seeing overbought, this stock is going to have to make a move in the next few weeks. Or I do think we're going to have a little bit of a pullback in this and many of other of the tech names. So that's just something to think about with this stock. And if you want to watch, I did make another video today covering the indexes and kind of showing out a little bit of a time frame of where I think that pullback is going to happen. But let's look at this. So the first thing I want to say is, as I just mentioned, we're kind of at a decision time in the short term. So when we zoom in and we look at the EMAs and the SMA, so the red line is the 50-day EMA and the blue line is the SMA, and we're right between those two, and so that's going to be really important to see where we break out next. Are we going to break back above the 50 days, or are we going to break below, and that's probably going to bring some more downward momentum. If we do break lower, we're going to want to see we have pretty big support around this 1880, say 1890 range, right above the SMA. But we also have this trend line. So if we do break down to this support at 1890, we're also breaking a trend line, so that could push us past that support down to the 1850 range. I would say that's even bigger support than 1890 is 1850, and so you're really going to want to look to see if it can hold that trend line. That's going to be really important for this stock. When we zoom out and just kind of look at more long term, besides like this next week and maybe where it could be headed, I would say it's trying to make a reversal on some of the technicals. So the first thing I always look at is how RSI is looking. So obviously we see RSI is under 50 when we're in the downtrend for the most part, and so what we're going to want to see is this be able to hold up above it. If it kind of hangs out at this 50 for a long time, then we're probably going to see some sideways auction for a little while until it makes a decision. But if we see it bounce here and come back up, we could see some positive momentum if we see RSI starting to get to that 60-70 range. So that's something you're going to want to look at for the long term, is kind of how our RSI is trending. Again, let's zoom in. Oops, let me move my screen. So let's okay, so like I mentioned, we have this trend line coming up, which is going to be really important to hold. If we do bounce off this 50-day and as well as hit this trend line, let me pull up the 100 days, because the 100-day and 200 days that's way too high. I think the 200 days is a little bit closer. There we go. Let's see where the 100-day EMA is. So kind of where we failed to break out before, at this 2033 range, which as you can see was really important resistance. This is what I've been seeing in all of the charts, is all these mid and small cap growth have come out to the pivot point in the chart, which is this past price where it broke below. As soon as it broke below this 2030 range, that's where it fell pretty drastically, and most of these stocks have been making higher lows, or so higher highs and higher lows, and coming back and hitting that line and coming back a little bit more significantly into a support range. And so what we're going to want to see is it maybe at least hold the SMAs and at least go sideways until we can see it break above this kind of consolidation range in the past. That's the main thing that you're going to want to be looking for. So I would say, in my opinion, we're kind of in no man's land. So if you already own the stock, these are things that you're going to want to look at for the support range, kind of in this area. And if you believe in this stock and you have maybe a more bullish sentiment over the next couple months, then around this 1850 is either a dip buy zone, or as in buying for the first time, or adding to your position. I would assume it would probably be to lower your average purchase price. So those are a couple things I would say in the short term. If we can break above this, what was that price? 1980 or wait, 2030 range, then we do have another consolidation zone around here. So we're probably going to see more resistance around the 21-ish range. But as I mentioned, it's really just important over the next couple of weeks if we can hold this base. If we can hold this base long enough through the end of July and into August, then we're most likely going to see a continuation of the uptrend. And so those are kind of just a couple of price targets that I would look for. I'm not going to make this video too long. That's just a little over the next month what you want to be looking for. And the reason I say over the next month is because in the end of July we are getting a little more dicey for the market, and so that's just a more short-term price prediction for this stock, because we're really in no man's land, and it's just going to kind of next couple weeks are really going to tell us what this stock wants to do next. So I hope the subscriber who asked for this really enjoys the video and got something valuable out of it, if you do hold the position. But if you've watched this video, I really appreciate it. Sub to the channel, join the squad, and I'll make another video soon. So come back tomorrow. Talk to you then.